Hey, and welcome to this video brought to you by StudyOrgo.com. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the quiz mode function. Now, previously we've looked at the study mode function. Today we're going to be looking at how we can create new quizzes. Now, on the main account page here, if we scroll down under the Take Quizzes option here, you can see that there are a few different available options. I can either start a new quiz, I can select from recently taken quizzes or quizzes that were recently viewed, but today we're going to go ahead and look at the Start New Quiz option here, and we're going to go ahead and start a new quiz. So click on Start New Quiz, and from here we're going to be graded with some different questions that you'll be able to go through here. So the first thing that we're going to see is the option to choose which categories you'd like to include in the quiz. Now on the left-hand side here, you can see under the available options that there's a number of different categories that I can choose from. Now I can choose a particular category and I can add these to my list. And as I'm adding these to my list, I can also choose which ones that I want to remove as well if I decide that I want to take them away. So you'll need to go through and choose the different reaction categories that you want to add to your list. I'll just choose these for now, and we'll move on to the next question. Now the next question here is how you want these to be ordered. So you can see that there's a drop-down box here. I can choose either random or selected category order. Now if I choose selected category order, what this is going to mean is that the way that it appears here under selected, this is how it's going to appear in the actual quiz. So this will be the first one, then alcohols, then ethers, so it's going to go in the order from the selected pane. Now if I choose random and I leave it on random, then it'll randomly go through these different reaction categories. Next, we can go ahead and look at how many questions we would like to have in this quiz. Now you can see right now it's going to show me a maximum of 36 at this point based off what I have selected. You'll notice that if I select more, it's going to increase that maximum number, or if I remove some, it's going to adjust accordingly as well. Now I can either drag this bar to whichever number that I like, or I can manually type in the number that I would like to use here for the number of questions that we'll be able to go through. Then we can proceed to the next question here, which is which part of the reaction you'd like to be tested on. Now there's a few different options here. There's a random checkbox, and by default this is checked. This is going to mean that it's going to randomly pick whether or not you'll be given the reactants or the product. And so it could either give you just reactant A and the product, and you'll have to know reactant B, or it could give you both reactants, and you'll need to know the product, or you could even be given the product and reactant B, for example, and just need to know reactant A, so it'll just kind of vary depending on the random assignment. So if I go ahead and choose one of these, for example, if I clicked on product, then I can make it so that during the quiz you'll be only tested on the product itself and you'll be given reactant A and B. If I choose reactant B, so in this case you'll need to know what you'll need to add to reactant A to get the product. So you can choose these, or again you can leave it on random assignment, and this way it'll choose for you. Now once you get to the bottom here, I can go ahead and name the quiz. So I'm just going to name this practice quiz. And once you've given the quiz a name, you can either save the quiz for later or save and begin the quiz. We're going to go ahead and save and begin the quiz, so I'll click on this option here. Now you'll be brought to the first page here of the first question, and you'll notice that there's some similarities immediately to the study section. In the top right-hand corner, you'll be able to see your percentage of completion of this particular quiz, and in the top left, you can see the question number that you're on out of the overall number of questions in this quiz. You'll also be provided with the instructions right here for the quiz as well. Now keep in mind that these instructions will only appear on the first question of the quiz. These are going to apply to all of the questions. You can also click on this reaction name option here, and this is going to tell you what reaction you're actually looking at here. So here we can see in this example, we're not given reactant A, we're given reactant B, and we're given the product. So using these two, we'll need to determine what reactant A would be, what would be added to reactant B to create this particular product. Now below you'll see that there is a white box, and in this white box is where we're going to actually draw what this particular reactant should be. Now you can scratch this on a piece of notebook paper if you'd like, or you can go ahead and just directly draw it here, and once you're confident in your answer, you can click on the question mark window to see what the answer is. So I can go ahead and just scribble in what I want my answer to be, and when I feel confident with it, I would just reveal that answer. And you can compare the answer with what you've actually input here. So you want to make sure that you've gotten it right. And if you haven't, of course, you'll want to make sure that you study that. Additionally, if you'd like, you can click on this X button here, and this will allow you to clear the selection, and then you can go ahead and draw something else back in here if you'd like to retry or enter something else differently. Now, once you feel as though you have mastered this particular quiz question, you'll have the option below to check this box next to mark this reaction as mastered, and this is going to acknowledge that you feel confident that you understand this reaction. Once you get to the bottom of the page here, you'll notice that there's a notes option as well, and this is going to relate up here to the reaction name, but this is just going to give you some tips and information about this particular quiz question and about this particular reaction. So now that I've completed this question, I'll have the option to either immediately end the quiz if I'm done, or I can proceed to the next question. In the next question, you'll notice here that the reactant that is given is different. So I'm given reactant A instead of reactant B from the previous question. And again, I'll need to know what reactant B would be to add to reactant A in order to get this particular product. So again, you can go ahead and enter your answer here and then just reveal what the answer is. You'll have your same notes at the bottom. And once you've completed this, once you've actually gone through and completed all the questions or all the questions that you would like to do through this quiz, you'll have the option at the bottom to click End Quiz. Now, once you end the quiz, it's going to take you to this review page here. And on the review page, you're going to see the question numbers associated with all the questions in the quiz. You'll see the associated reaction categories, the name of the reactions, and you can see which of these you've actually mastered. Now, for example, here, if there was a particular one that I did not master or I felt that I needed more practice with, I could just click on this hyperlink here to go back to that question. I could practice it again, and once it's mastered, I can either mark it as mastered from that particular question, or I can also mark it as mastered from here as well. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and proceed back to the quiz mode option here. And a few last minute things to note here is that you can actually go back and you can edit the settings and configuration of this quiz at any time. And if I scroll to the bottom here, I can even go back and edit existing quizzes as well. So if there's a different quiz that I wasn't currently working on that I wanted to edit, all I have to do is click on the edit button next to the quiz that I want to edit. Or if I want to, I can even click on this delete button, and that'll allow me to actually completely delete that quiz as well. All right, so that's the quiz mode option here on StudyOrgo.com. When you're ready, you can proceed to the next video. Thanks for watching.